see a few people joining. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Maddie Flowers. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Let me know if you need help with anything. We're going to wait until 2, and we will get started. Hey guys, again, if you're joining me just now, we've got a few more minutes. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to come on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. My name's Maddie Flowers. Let me know if you need help with anything. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name's Maddie Flowers. I'm with Pioneer Technology Group. Pioneer is a leader in land record software in the industry. We're trusted by recording offices around the country. Hey guys, I see a few familiar faces joining. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go over 35% overall efficiency gains with the ScanFirst technology today, but it could be more than 35% in your office, depending on the workflow process you're currently using. The plan for today, walk through a couple transactions with the ScanFirst workflow so you can see the possible ways it can streamline your office, and I'll go over the agenda now. It's a pretty easy agenda today. We're going to go over a traditional workflow. There should be no surprises. Some of you are going to be doing that traditional workflow. I'm going to go over the time-saving process workflow and what that will look like. I'm actually going to show the ScanFirst process, go over a few features that are bonuses to utilizing this process, the ScanFirst process, and then we'll do a quick review. So like I said, no surprises to this traditional recording workflow. This is how I know a traditional recording workflow to go. If you do this differently, I'd really be interested to hear how you're doing this, how you're processing currently your documents. Leave me a comment or leave me an email, and I'd like to hear from you. Tell me how you do this differently. So you're going to take the documents in. They need a barcode to tie back to the transaction after scanning at the end, so complete opposite of a ScanFirst workflow. You'll cashier the transaction, manually stamp the documents, you'll stack them, and then you'll take them to the indexing area. After the documents are indexed, someone scans them in page by page, and those documents will then go to your verify queue. So in that verify queue, you're ensuring that you have all the documents and you're making sure that everything is good to go. Finally, after the verification, 2 things normally happen. You'll mail those documents out to the customer and they would show up on the web. So this is a time-saving method that we're all here for today. Just a quick review, a quick overcap of it. It's the same documents coming in, but the workflow is just enhanced. The first thing you're going to do is scan the documents into the system. So complete opposite. You're going to be able to do immediate indexing after that, count the number of pages, the names on the document, the consideration amount, depending on the document type. You can cashier that document, post the transaction, and since you scan first, you get an electronic stamp on the document, so no more hand stamp. From there, it'll be automatically routed to a verify queue, and after it's been verified, it will automatically go out to the web. So much quicker, much more efficient recording process. By doing this scan first workflow, you're cutting out hours, if not days for some of you, per document, depending on your current workflow, of course. Landmark utilizes the scan first workflow. Landmark is Pioneer's land record system, and I wanted to show you a few different methods within this system that are quick and easy. So I'm going to hop out of my presentation here and jump into Landmark. The dashboard's user-friendly. You can see a quick glance at the day at hand here on the right, but for today, for our webinar, I'm going to go to transactions, and I'm going to show you the scan first workflow. I'm going to go to recordable transaction. So let's assume that someone comes up to your counter and they come with documents. You're going to say, over the counter, they came in, and you want to know who's coming in, right? So let's just say that AccuTrans Services Inc. came in. Now, you guys just saw this auto-populate information. I really like this feature. If people come in repeatedly, and the system knows those people, it auto-populates that, so you don't have to type that in. Let's go to where I actually scan in the documents. You can see this queue up here, and it's going to take you along the path that you need to complete the document process. So I'm going to add a new document here. Let's say this person brought in a deed. Awesome. This is where you're scanning in your documents. So here you would go to scan them. The scan options, there's a lot of options for you. So if you scan each page or you can multi-scan, the system's smart enough to know if you're multi-scanning and differentiate between the type of documents that are scanning in. But you can also import documents, and I'm going to do that today. I'm going to import my documents. So let's import the deed that they brought in. It's a quick import process. You're going to see it on the right. And let's say they brought in a different type of document. Let's say they brought in an assignment of mortgage. Going to import the assignment of mortgage. And now you can see that I have my two different documents here, a deed and an assignment of mortgage. That's two document types that I can record in one quick transaction. Time saver right there for sure. I have my electronic image on the right and my index fields on the left here. So I can index right off that electronic image. This is going to improve your quality control, your accuracy, and as you guys can see, it's going to give you a lot more time overall. I can do a full index of the names here at the counter. So let's go ahead and do that. The deed here. Let's zoom in. I can see there's a 2-page deed up here, 1 of 2. There's a second page. So I'm going to change that to 2 pages. I'm going to put the names in. So the grantor here is AJ Realty, and that's an LLC. Great. The grantees here are Susan C. Morris and Jeffrey D. Morris. So I can quickly type in their names. Great. So those are in. The number of names here is 3. And the deed amount is $10. Great. Okay, so I've put in all the information that I need to put in. You can see here, one of the really great features is this balance calculation. It automatically calculates the balance, which is great for people like me that would either need this or a calculator. I want you to watch the balance number. So you can either look here or here and watch what happens when I add the pages. So just showing you the automatic changes that it makes. really nice. Here's a good thing, an alert icon. So you see up here, my documents, I've done something wrong. I can't move on to the next item in the queue. So I want to see what's wrong, and I've completely forgot my assignment. So it must be one of those days. So let's go to the assignment and fill in the information. It's a one-page assignment, and the direct names I see here are the Mortgage Electronic Registration System. We're just going to say they come in a lot, so they have an abbreviation. Seacoast National Bank, they come in a lot too. They've got one also. And the indirect name. So there's hotkeys to this entire system, and you can utilize the hotkeys if you'd like. But I just used one to pull over Jeffrey, and I'm typing in Susan here. So you can see that I still have my alert. So what am I doing wrong? I haven't put any number of names. So there's 4 names. My alert went away. Everything looks good here. Now, if this image on the right was blurry, or I scanned it in upside down, or there were issues with it, you can go to this icon here and you can fix it. So you can rotate it, despeckle it, diskew it, really fix up that image before it goes to the web. I think that looks fine. It's easy to read, so I'm going to leave that be. The next line is image quality. So this gives me a chance to finalize the documents before publishing to the web. And it's really simple. I want to view them, so I'm going to zoom in, as you see there. And that looks good. So I'm just going to approve it. It looks great. You can see right here, I'm getting check marks every time I approve a page. And my alert went away on image quality. So I'm good to move forward. Let's move on to balance. So balance is great. The electronic receipt is auto-populated here on the right, and the left is where I can post my payment. So let's say this person at the counter today brought in a check. Let's say they brought in a check for the full amount, so $29.20. I want you to check out the balance here, well, here and here. And once that balance is zeroed out, it's going to allow me to post my receipt. So let's select Post Receipt. Once it posts, it brings me to my Done tab up here at the top. The transaction is finalized and the document's now recorded. There's a few fun options here. I can email the documents or the receipt, or I can print them and hand them to the client. On this tab, you can also check out milestones. So you can see where I created, scanned, doc prepped. There's one thing that's not filled in. That's to verify. So the last step is verification, and this is going to go to someone else to verify. I want to jump back real quick to the Documents tab here, and I want to show you what happened after we fully did the Scan First workflow. There's an electronic, fresh electronic clerk stamp that was applied to this complete document. You can see it up here at the top. It's also on the assignment, the book page, the book and the page, the time. So I wanted to show you that as a completion for the Scan First workflow. It's really pretty simple and easy. Once your team has it down, it's actually a lot quicker than that, but there's a lot of options for the Scan First workflow, and that's really the core of it. Moving forward, I want to show you a few bonus features. So say you've got the Scan First workflow down and you have a few outlier situations that need attending to when you're doing this process. So there's bonus features like redaction, additions to the document, visibility, OCR, electronic cues, and I wanted to show you a few of those today. So let's go to a new transaction here. Let's start over again so you can kind of see it again. And the next person behind the first person came in, we'll say. All right, so let's add in another deed. Quick process, even quicker if you're using a scanning machine. All right, so here we go. let's cover redaction first. So there's a lot of things that don't need to be shown on the web. You and I both know that. You have the option with built-in redaction here. So it's really easy. I pulled the redaction from over here, and let's just redact that information right there. I'm gonna burn this in, and by burn-in, it just changes this version of the document. And this is what's gonna show on the web now. So there's other options that you can do. You can add some text to the document. If you're the office that handwrites on documents like this office does, you can see that there's handwritten notes all over this document. There's an option to actually add text to the document instead of handwriting it because you're doing a scan first workflow. So if I add the text here, super easy. I'm going to burn that in. So the same as redaction. And now you can see that both the text and the redaction are burnt into this document, and that's what's going to show up on the web. So let's do a little bit of indexing here. I'm going to select the deed type right here. It's a 2-page deed. And this is a really good bonus feature. So I can actually OCR information, and that can be automatic, but for today's sake, I wanted to show you how to actually do it. So if I want to do the legal description, I can OCR that description instead of having to type all of it in. The time saving there is so efficient. All right, so you can see here that it automatically OCR'd, it just copied over that information once I scanned it. You can OCR things like legal names, parcel ID, the legal description like we just did, and that saves a lot of time for you and your team. So what do you do if you have an image that's honestly just not good? It's not a good image, it's old, but it's the best one that you have. So a bonus feature here is we can add a watermark to the document to let the public know that this is the best one that you've got. So if I go over here and I go to the blue shield, you can see here that there's this best copy possible. And what that does is it just lets the public know that it's the best one that you can offer them, the best one that they can see. You can see that the redaction and the text box is still here. It's just that this is the best copy possible that the public is going to get on the web. I'm going to go to the next page and approve it so we can move on to balance. I'm going to say this time that someone brought in, let's just say cash today. So it doesn't matter what type of payment they're bringing in. You can use this in your Scan First workflow. Let's say they paid the full amount today. Great. We're going to post that receipt. And when I select that, I'm just doing this again to show you the digital stamp that's associated with that document again. So here's everything we just went over: the text box, the redaction, the best copy possible, and the automatic clerk stamp. So all that is very quick to do. Another bonus feature, so let's say if you can't do indexing at the counter, but you still want to adopt the Scan First workflow, you can do this. The entire process would still be paperless. Let's say I scanned in that document and then I cashiered it, but I didn't have the chance to index it. There's a long line in the office today. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to Processes. There's an index queue and a verify queue. In the index queue, you're going to see that it automatically pulls over that document that we were working on. So a lot of people love this feature, a lot of our current clients. It looks the same as indexing at the counter, but this is just a queue where all you would do is indexing. If I go back, once the documents have been indexed, they'll automatically go to the verify queue. And then once they're approved, they're going to be out on the web. It's super simple, super easy. All right, so a quick recap of what we went over. That was a lot. I know that it's not a one-size-fits-all process, and it can be configured to the needs of your office, but overall, things that you can gain from the ScanFirst workflow besides 35% efficiency is you can go 100% paperless. You can eliminate mailback costs. You can have that electronic clerk stamp. We talked about how indexing and redaction are available, and OCR can be automatic. And really just managing an electronic queue increases the efficiency within your office. I showed you a small part of the efficiency within Landmark today. If you'd like to see other ways to improve your efficiency levels in your office using Landmark, please let me know. Here's my contact information. Again, any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments in this webinar or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to talk with you about them and answer anything that I can. I plan on doing webinars twice a month. If you have any topics you'd like to see in an upcoming webinar, I'd love to know that. And on this slide, you can see a few other ways that you can get in touch with Pioneer Technology Group today. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything. I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for joining my webinar on 35% efficiency with the ScanFirst workflow.